The automotive industry has come a long way, from slow, steam-powered machines to electric cars that practically drive themselves. But how did we get here? Let's take a ride through history and see how the evolution of cars changed the world. It all started in the late 1800s when the first cars looked more like fancy horse carriages that lost their horses. In 1886, Carl Benz introduced the first gasoline-powered automobile, and people were amazed, until they realized it had a top speed of about 10 miles per hour. Talk about the ultimate Sunday driver. Of course, back then, roads weren't exactly built for cars, so driving one felt more like a survival challenge than a luxury. Then came Henry Ford in the early 1900s, who decided, hey, what if we made cars that normal people could afford? Enter the Model T in 1908. Thanks to mass production, cars became cheaper, and suddenly everyone's grandpa had a story about fixing one with just a wrench and a dream. Of course, there was no GPS, no air conditioning, and if your car broke down, you just walked. Fast forward to the 1950s and 60s, and cars became a status symbol. Big tail fins, chrome everything, and engines so powerful they could probably launch a small spaceship. This was also the golden age of muscle cars, where fuel efficiency wasn't even a concern. Gas was cheap, so why not drive a car that gets 8 miles per gallon, but makes you look cool while doing it? The 70s and 80s brought oil crises and safety regulations, which meant smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. Suddenly, seatbelts were a thing people actually used, and manufacturers started worrying about things like not exploding on impact. Japanese brands like Toyota and Honda took over the market with reliable, affordable cars that ran forever. Seriously, some of those 80s Civics are still on the road today, probably outliving their original owners. Then came the 2000s, where everything became digital. Cars got computers, touchscreens, and more buttons than a spaceship. Electric cars also started making a comeback, but people were skeptical. "What do you mean I don't need gas?" they said, clutching their gas station reward cards. But companies like Tesla changed that, proving that electric cars could be fast, stylish, and, most importantly, not catch fire. Well, most of the time. Now the future is all about self-driving, AI-powered electric vehicles. Soon you might not even need to drive. Your car will just take you where you need to go while you nap. The evolution of the automotive industry has been a wild ride. And one thing is for sure, the best is yet to come. Just let's hope flying cars don't come with flying traffic jams.